I channeled the weirdest message for you, Aquarius. It was a microfiber cloth, yellow, a little bit dirty if I'm honest. I know. So let me know in the comments. You're like, that is my dirty cloth. And you were going away at a stain. And you were working away trying to get this stain off. And it wouldn't come out. So it's wiping away the stain. But there's a wanting to wipe the slate clean, but if you can't wipe the slate clean, you'll just take it, you won't leave that one stain. It's like you just won't leave it alone. It came across really, really strongly, and the desire for you, oh my God, you should see the card. Well, I'll show you the card. God, that's the cloth. There it is. That could just be my living room carpet, honestly. You get the underworld. Not just a shake and vac advert. So there's something about deep cleaning or deep cleansing for you. Now, this can come in many ways. First of all, I think this could be literal. As in, you're going to benefit greatly. And I don't say this lightly, because I am not exactly Mrs. Housework at all, as many of you will know. But you would benefit greatly from going through the rich surfaces in your house, the drawers, you know, going to the everything drawer in the kitchen, you know, the everything drawer that has like the keys, the notes of stuff, the bits of this, that and the other, old supermarket coupons, all that stuff. Taking it all out and throwing like 90% of it away. You will clear some physical energy, but I also get the message that there is a lot of underground mental energy. Now, I get two sides of this as well, because if you look at this, houses can be too clean. You know, things in the universe can be too clean. If we over clean, we can get super bacteria and things that we can't control. So think of this in terms of how compost works. So in the underworld here, or in this example looking like compost works because things break down, doesn't it? There's chemicals, little beasties come and eat things. It's all very well organized, actually. So this is not about you not having an ecosystem at all, mentally and physically. But this is about you working in alignment with your ecosystem, rather than... Because I'm telling you now, that stain is not coming out. I know, and that's the message I got. It's like you're there going on this stain. It's not coming out. So that stain, it could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be your relationship with the world, it could be many different things. But as things stand, it's not coming out. Therefore, sometimes when we are posed with a problem, or I would say in this case, an obstacle, we need to rearrange our way of dealing with it, or we need to rearrange our energy in relation to it. So Aquarians are very different and eccentric, and we know this because you are one, Aquarius AF. Here we go. You're good at dealing with people, but also you can be uncompromising sometimes, which works in your favour often, but in this case, I think not working in your favour. So consider whatever this situation is for you. For some of you, it will be a relationship, or a row in a relationship, or just a turning point in a relationship. And that could be with a friend, long-term friend, with a lover, with a work colleague. It could be a situation at work. It could be your life situation. Just see it from whoever or whatever the other side is, even if it's nothing like what you are. And even if, and I would say even more so, if you know that you're right. Because you probably are right, but that doesn't really count in this situation, because something or someone has besmirched, as Shakespeare would say, besmirched something. It's not, you can't go back on whatever that was or whatever that is. You can't. And you're wasting effort if you're trying to. I'm going to take one more of these and I'm going to throw some tarot at you. Interesting, itchy nose. Then we get the Shaman. And we're not talking a 90s pop group. Or maybe we are. I'm always talking a 90s pop group. So I always say when shaman stuff comes up in my readings that it takes a lot to know and to be a shaman. And I don't pretend to know a lot about that. So when it comes up, I signpost people who will know about it. So those of you that are shamans or have connections with shamanism, there's something here of like a shamanic test. Now, you don't have to understand the shaman element. This is like a test of your being. God, I've got such an itchy nose. You know when you feel like you've got some sort of cat hair, which I probably have constantly on your nose. But I have to say, itchy noses for me are a real sign of... this is some really deep guru shit going on here. I can't really put it any other way. It's giving me an itchy everything. That's what happens to me when I get this energy. So, some of you are into some weird stuff and that stuff is good. Think of this as a shamanic test, whichever way it plays out for you IRL, in real life. Think of this as you've got to find a way to make a system work rather than bin it. So if this was using rubbish as an analogy, you can't just throw the bin out because it's going to stink and come back to haunt you. Get a composting, not literal, maybe literally, get an emotional composting system. See, I'm doing hooters, but this is what I do when I get into it, hooters. Get an emotional composting system going, because this is bigger than just the situation that you're encountering. A very important channel message that was. It's not about the thing that you think it's about. It's about something much broader, much wider. Okay? Let's get some cards. Right. Let's have a look at the past energy. I'm going to look at, and I've written it down over there, past energy, challenges, what's coming in. Message from your higher self. I might have to have two of those. Love and connection. Okay. Past energy that's contributed to this. I'm going to take one of these as well. I think we might even be doing a past life card in your reading. It happens. What can I say? You're going to get the weird cards, aren't you? We're going to do the weird reading for Aquarius. Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling weird and up for it, present and eccentric and fully Aquarius AF. Leave me a comment. Put the thumbs up. Say hello. Oh, it is that. I mean, that gives me goosebumps. Right. Message from your higher self. I was going to leave that until later, but it's here. This is like, no, Gemma, you're not leaving it. It's here. Okay, so we have a message from your higher self. Let's choose that. We get the healer. I'm very pleased to see that. Very, very, very pleased. And I'm noticing here, we're getting a lot of snake energy. Snake it. When you get a lot of snake energy, it's like phoenix energy, because snakes shed their skin. Ouroboros, you know, the snake that eats its own tail. Speaking of which, you also get the ring. You get the healer and you get the ring. For me, this is spelling a cycle. But also what it's spelling is that you have a lot more power than you think. Not to change the situation in terms of get rid of the stain, make it stop, but to transmute the situation like the magician does. The magician for me, and we don't know, it may well come up in your reading or in the extended reading, because I do like an extended reading for these as well. The magician for me very much represents Aquarius. From, you know, years ago starting doing tarot, it's just always been that way for me. It represents Aquarius. And the magician has all of the articles on the table and can move them around, do alchemy. You can move through this energy without losing something and without what I call burning down the house. Especially if you're dealing with a fire sign person in any way. The ring for me is a circle, it's a cycle. You're coming to a point in the cycle where your higher self knows you need to close the ring and move on. That's the message from your higher self. There's no real time limit on that. So it's not like the universe is... It's not like the universe is going to, you know, when you're going to close the ring. It's not like your exercise ring on the Apple Watch, you know, where you just get 24 hours to close it. Any of you feel really chuffed when you do that as well? It's like you've stood up a few times. Pshing! I'm like, yes, yes. I'm a triathlete. So your higher power is coming to say, you know you need to close a cycle and be done with it. What happens to compost after it's mulched down? We throw it all over the garden and it helps the roses grow. So it's not wasted, whatever you did. Yay! Love this for you, not for any other sign, but you can take it. Chaos and conflict. It's not focusing very well, is it? Look at that, it's got like a double... I know that's actually on the card. Oh God, is it going to be one of those days? I thought that was double letters, but it's not, is it? Right, chaos and conflict, or I call it blowing the stripes off the zebra. In order to get there, in order to resolve this and to be in the present, you're going to have to kiss a few frogs and annoy a few people. I just get that feeling. There's a certain disruptor energy about this. But the other card that I got for you, the tarot card, is the Three of Pentacles. Not just the big pink rocket girls either. Or boys. That's a hell of a rocket though, isn't it? When you get the Three of Pentacles, rockets notwithstanding, it's about people who are on your team, on your side. And there are some. So this can be friends, it can be like-minded people from groups online, it can be your angels in the universe, it can be your 17 cats, it doesn't matter what it is. But it's not just you doing this. You do have people on board. And this also might show up for you in your real life, that people are going to offer to help you with things. And Aquarians, you're very capable. I don't know how you respond to people offering to help you. Let me know in the comments, because I would like to know. I would very much like to know. I'm going to take one more of these oracle cards and some more tarot. Yeah, that makes sense. Go the distance. I like that you got that card. Like I said, there is no time limit on this. There is no need for... There is no rush. There is no fire, particularly if you are dealing with a fire sign person. Your opposite sign is Leo. And I don't know why that's relevant, but I'm going to say it because it's relevant. Okay, challenges. I think we are moving to the erection section. We're moving to the love bit, okay? We're moving to love and relationships. Love and relationships. Okay, if I'm doing different voices, you know you're in trouble. Woohoo! Love and relationships and challenge, 6 of Cups. When the 6 of Cups comes up in a challenge position, usually it's about relationships. Doesn't have to be love, but I get the feeling for some of you that this is. It's tricky. Now, I don't know if we're also going to get the Judgment card, because that also makes it deeper and trickier. 6 of Cups is a calling from the past. It can be a reconnection card. Don't shoot the messenger. So it can be reconnecting with a friend, which for Aquarians is not that unusual. I've told you before, I have a lot of Aquarian friends, got my Venus in Aquarius, got something else in Aquarius as well, can't remember what it is. So I attract Aquarian people a lot, and I like them. And it doesn't matter if it's been ages since I saw them or yesterday, it's always the same. And they stay in touch with all sorts of people for all sorts of reasons. And they go back in many cases to childhood, or someone that you met on a course, or it can be really, really random. That's just what Aquarius is like. So having this 6 of Cups in the reading is not a massive surprise to me. And seeing the energy here for an Aquarius, again, it's not headline news, because people popping out of the woodwork, you're no stranger to that. It feels like let me feel into it, because it's weird. This is someone you've known in the past, or a vibe that you've known in the past in a new person, but they belong to an old era. Weird, because we're using these kind of 1950s cards as well. Could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, because we've got obviously the cups. But there's a weird thing. The 6 of Cups is so weird. It's like, it's got all that hometown vibe. I sniffed your sweatshirt. You were my first love. You know, meet you at the bleachers. All this kind of real sort of Taylor Swift type energy of writing about an old lover, you know, feeling melancholy and caught up with somebody. And it's coming up as a challenge, and I'm going to look at what's coming in a minute as well. It feels good, but it feels complicated for some reason. The next card I get with it is the Hermit card. And that's weird, because the Hermit, it can be many things, but because I'm sort of looking at this through the lens of relationships at the moment, the Hermit is when somebody disappears. It could be you. It could be them. It could be the whole thing. So you may be in Hermit vibe at the moment, in Hermit mode. Aquarians do that. not often, because Aquarians live and bite by being in groups, really, or being associated with the world. But there's something here about either a lack of communication or a lack of, I don't know what that is. We're going to look. We're going to take some more cards for that. Because we then, I mean, I like this one because it's pink and gorgeous, but it's the Tower. This can be a sudden call, a sudden message, a sudden a wake-up call. I'm just writing that down, actually. You're not really expecting it. You know, it's got that Tower element to it. You're not expecting it. You're surprised by it. I'm going to use a different deck. I've got my Nightshade Tarot here, which is like, it's like, you know, in restaurants, there's sometimes, well, not that we go to these fancy restaurants, but I've seen it on MasterChef Australia. Going to have a red hot crack at it. Going to flame up the hibachi. On MasterChef Australia, they started having these courses that are sort of before dessert. So you eat your dinner and then, I don't know if it's before or after dessert, I think it's before. You have this kind of, what would have been the cheese board, a sort of savoury dessert. And there is a point to this. The Nightshade Tarot, if you think of the tarot we're using at the moment, which is this one, which is a very jolly, you know, bright tarot. Nightshade Tarot is a more savoury event. Those are sweet. This is bubblegum, and this is more savoury. Oh, we've got delivery. Well, I'm not going down for it, Aquarius, because you're too important. Right. Tell me a bit about the Tower. Yeah. It's not for me. It's very hot in here, by the way. Venus in Aquarius, the Five of Swords, with the Six of Swords. Interesting. And a good fan. And the Page of Cups. Let's look at this, because this is what's coming in. And it's coming in from the Tower. Think of this as the transmitter. Okay, what's coming in on this transmitter? What's coming in from the Tower? This is a situation where things have been a bit of a deadlock, a little bit passive aggressive even, because when you get the Five of Swords, there is some kind of fight, but it's more like you see with this fencing. You know, if you ever watched fencing, it looks like it's going to be so interesting to do. It's so boring sometimes because you sort of, there's an awful lot of posturing around before you actually get to, like, on guard. And there's an awful lot, like there is in boxing really, of footwork and second guessing. One moment. And shilly-shallying around a subject. If you've had a connection, could be a friendship, could be a romantic connection, for a lot of you it is a romantic connection, that's been a bit off balance. The frequency has been, I'm going to tie my hair up, that's what I'm going to do. The frequency has been off, or even missing altogether. God, that's better. You know, think of this as a frequency, and you know it's been missing. and you have wanted to make some progress with that. Maybe you've talked to somebody about it, maybe you haven't been able to, maybe you've been in separation, maybe they disappeared, I don't know. But the mojo was not rising and the frequency was not matching, and what's to be done about that? So we enter Five of Swords territory, dancing around each other, not, maybe it's to do with the stain, maybe it is an indelible mark in this relationship and you don't know how to move forward with that, you know, and take the stain with you. I had such a weird channel message just then, and I'm going to share it with you because you're Aquarius. If this relationship was a carpet and there was a stain, would you replace it or can you live with it? I know. This is not time to be penning a letter to your loved one. I think of you as a stain upon a carpet, but I can live with it. So no, but I don't know why that's coming, but it has. But I tell you what I'm glad about is that you get the Six of Swords right next to it. And this means that there's some progress with this. It's coming out of the shadows and into the light, but it's a little bit extra. Because you have the Page of Cups as well, I'm kind of feeling, because the Page of Cups is like a love offering, but it's also the beginning of a love offering. So it can be quite small in some ways. It can be a little, let's say you've been in separation from some, this is an intense connection. Okay, I'm going to write that down because that's important. This is an intense connection. And I think it has the power to be a bit explosive because we've got this Tower as well. Pow, you know, that's a bit of a pow. One of my favourite Tower cards, that one, it's gorgeous. And it can be like if you're in separation from somebody, and a very intense separation, not a kind of, oh, well, it's been a while, crocodile, you know, not that, but like an intense, a separation. And the channel message that I'm getting for you is a separation that is so intense that the nothingness of it really feels like something. So even in separation, there's an enormous charge, and that's what the Six of Cups is. It's a charge. It's an emotional 5D kind of a charge. And it, you know, if you've got Six of Cups charged vibes, all bets are off in trying to explain that relationship to anyone else, and usually even to yourself, because it will be full of frequencies that are non-explainable in the 3D. Now, quite often, Aquarius, you are non-explainable in the 3D. So this is territory you understand, but all the same, you don't really know what to do about it. And when you get the Page of Cups, it can be, let's say you've not, you know, been in touch with someone for ages, or there's been separation, or there's been a rift, or a stain, or whatever you want to call it, and one of you breaks out and there's a message. It's a small one because Page of Cups is like the most junior. It can be, hello, you know, hi, how are you doing? I was just wondering how this person was, or have you got my red jumper, or whatever. But it's, for some of you, quite unexpected. Let's take a couple more of these bubblegum cards. Just going to move these ones out of the way. because I'm quite intrigued in your relationship. Let's look at the other person or the other side here and take a couple of cards for that. I do this a lot in the extended reading, but I think we should pull a couple now as well. Why are you hiding? Ooh. Okay. Queen of Swords energy. When you get Queen of Swords energy, somebody is very, very tight in their boundaries. So the person that you're dealing with is dealing with this in a somewhat clinical level. And I don't know how you feel about that. Because this person, I don't know if they're like a fairly logical person or clinical person, but it feels like I just got a channel message, they won't give way. It may be that for several months or weeks or years or whatever, you've been frustrated how this person is kind of set in their ways. There's something about them being set in their ways. I'm getting a really bad northern voice going, I know what I like and I like what I see, you know, and I have a lot of northern relatives and they can be very set in their ways. So I feel like I'm channeling for you, whatever your version is, of somebody who's stuck in how they do things. Now, Aquarians don't get stuck in how they do things. You're the opposite. You're the innovators, the inventors. So you don't do that. And it feels as if it feels as if that's about to change. They've stepped out of being stuck in their ways. We get the Ace of Pentacles for this person, which is a very nice card to get actually, because there's a certain reliability about them. There's a certain intention of growing something with a good foundation that I like. And we also get Temperance. I think there's going to be a tiny crack of light in this and a tiny bit of a window opening. And this person is reaching through this tiny crack of light. And I don't know what you're going to make of that. But I do think you're intrigued. Can you wipe the slate clean? No. Life isn't really like that. Ooh. That's interesting. Well, that's nice. Ten of Cups. There is an opportunity here for something good. It's such a gorgeous Ten of Cups, isn't it? Really beautiful. I feel like it's surprising how you get there. It's going to surprise you. It's going to surprise them too. That wasn't their intention. They were going to stay stuck in their ways. And for some reason, they're able to break out of it. And the Six of Wands. there is a way to win. I like that card for you. Okay, in the extended reading, I'm going to look at the Tower. I'm going to look deeper into the connection between you and this person, the 5D aspect of it, the Six of Cups, what this tie is, what this conflict is, and how best to resolve it to get to that, which is rather joyous and glorious. I'm going to go and do that now. It's the first link in the description box under the video if you want to come and join me. Whew. Nice reading, Aquarius. Don't ever go changing. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.